it becomes a business, and it's maintaining the following and what you do after that really makes the difference.
Another episode here on the Owwll podcast. Every week we bring you some of the best influencers, connectors, and of course CEOs around the United States that come join us here in the studio. I'm joined by my co-host, who's going to tell us a little bit about our guest today. And we're going to go right into our guest, who has over 1 million followers on TikTok, over 50,000, I believe, or close to 50,000 on Instagram, and doing some amazing things out there.
Yeah, so we're super excited to have Brogan Morris here. She is a local Florida girl, and she's a fitness expert, influencer. She also has her own fitness app, which is pretty cool because we're a new app here. So maybe we'll be asking you advice about that. But she just got on Owwll today, and we're super excited to have her. So you guys can give her a call, ask her any of your fitness questions. But I guess let's just start with, how did you get on this fitness journey? How did you become passionate about it? And yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks for having me today, guys. Pretty excited. So basically, I kind of grew up like dancing in high school, middle school. I mean, since I could walk.
We talked about that. Theater.
Yeah, I was a theater kid.
Cool. Me too.
And it was fun. But when I went to college, after going from like dancing all the time in high school and always having rehearsals and just being active on my own, you get to college, you can't do that as much. You start, drinking a little bit. You don't have home cooked meals, and you just don't have time.
You dance on the dance floor is what you're saying.
The freshman 15, maybe?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So I hit the little freshman 15, and I instantly was like, oh my God, I don't understand what is this? And I really just like lost so much confidence. And then I found Zumba, actually, which I don't know if you guys have taken a Zumba class before.
I have not. My mom absolutely loves it, but I have not. She's always talking about it.
It's so fun. It's for those of you guys who don't know, it's like dancing, but just like right on the beat. Like your instructor's cueing you, so you're just dancing in the moment. And you sometimes at first like you're not so great, but that's because you don't know the dances yet. And then you get better. So that's kind of how I started. And I started dancing and loving it. I got certified to teach it myself. And then from there, I was like, damn, I'm looking good. Okay. And then I just kept going with it and kept getting more certifications. Now I'm personal trainer. And then I just kind of kept growing. And for some reason, people started following me. And it was really nice to try and like help inspire and help other people.
And when did you start on the social media journey? Obviously with TikTok, you have like the biggest following there. So was that during COVID, or when did you begin that journey?
It actually was. A few years before COVID, I had one of my guy friends actually who was like, Brogan, this is like right up your alley. It's a lot of booty shaking, a lot of just dancing. You would love it. And I was like, ugh, no, it's another social media app.
Yeah.
I'm good. And then during COVID, I got really bored.
Yeah.
So started doing the dances. What really set me over, I think what got me to the 1 million mark was a twerk tutorial, actually.
Oh my God. I need to introduce you to one of my friends. Like the wheels are turning because he teaches heels classes.
Oh my God, stop. Like locally?
Oh yeah, in Delray. No, and I've been taking his class. I suck at dancing. Like I'm a singer who can't dance, but I like get so inspired and I just have so much fun. It's so nice to not be like going on a run and struggling. And I actually look forward to these classes. So I'm already like, you have to come join us. It's so much fun. And he taught me how to twerk, but I'm still horrible at it. But we did a tutorial like on my apartment floor.
Oh my God.
So
hey, look out, podcast. We might be twerking here.
Yeah, right. No, the video afterwards.
We haven't had anyone do it live on the show.
Let's go viral, guys. Let's go viral.
Let's not do it after. Let's do it live.
Yeah, right. But I just think that it's so much fun.
Yeah, it really is. And it's like, that's what I love about fitness. It's like, so many people picture fitness and you're like, okay, I'm just on the treadmill
lifting
running
weights. It's like terrible. Yeah.
And so, but like, no, there are so many different things that you can do. And one of them is just booty shaking, like that burns a lot of calories.
I know. It's wild. Yeah. We did the 75 hard
me too.
this year. And we like just loved finding alternative ways to work out. Like we both are super into pickleball now, and even just walking, especially walking on the beach is like really hard. I didn't realize with the sand. yeah, it's difficult. So
There's just so many different ways. And like I did 75 hard probably
Mhm.
like 3 years ago. That was aggressive. That was,
It is.
yeah.
I don't know, if I would do it again.
I feel like most people who even complete it don't really complete it. Like they really do every element of the 75-hour challenge. Like it is so hard.
It
When
is.
it
It
comes
really
to
is.
Why
eating,
it's
the drinking
75
of water.
hard.
Yeah. Oh my God. I did another one that I called 75 like soft.
Oh,
And I
nice.
just took some of the things out. The 75 hard cult like people got real pissed at that though.
Yeah.
They didn't.
The
they didn't so much
eating
like
and the
that.
drinking part is what most people fail on, of course.
Oh, see, I was
Most
okay
people
with
want
that.
a couple cocktails now and then for 75 days straight, right?
Yeah,
Or they
this
want
year. Oh my God.
they want to eat unhealthy here or there, right?
Yeah.
5 days healthy, 2 days cheat meal, right? But
Mhm.
7 days in a row eating healthy, very, very hard.
It's a lot, especially for 75.
Yeah.
And I'm like huge. Like my biggest thing that I preach is living a balanced lifestyle. So for me, doing the 75 hard was just a way to push myself a little
Mhm.
extra. But, when I was done with it, I reminded myself, okay, this is not what we're going to do again.
Yeah.
Because
This
that's
isn't
not what I
reality.
preach.
Yeah.
No, it's
no,
not.
I agree. It's
Good for a little bit, but that's a lot.
It's all about balance. Yeah. Now I'm curious, do you like in terms of the social media stuff, what do you find as an influencer? Like what are I feel like people talk about being an influencer and some people do it full time and other people like the money isn't really, you have the following, but like in terms of making a career out of it, it
Yeah.
can be really tough. So like how do you find just with that whole experience how's that been and what kind of benefits do you find that you get like being this influencer? Do you get like free clothes or like what? Yeah.
I would say that's the biggest thing is
Okay.
free things. Like
Mhm.
we get it's a lot of free stuff.
Mhm.
For a while there I was getting all my supplements free, all my fitness clothes free,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
just anything I needed was just free.
Mm.
I still do get quite a bit free, but it's back down a little bit
Mhm.
just because I've been so busy with some other things
Mhm.
that I haven't been able to post as often. But the money is just very unstable. And that's the thing with
Yeah.
influencing. Like, some months I will make, because I have a full-time job as well. And so
Yeah.
some months on social media, I'll make well more than what I make in my full-time job.
Wow.
But then there's some months where that's just not the case.
Mm.
So for me, maybe eventually it could be something full time. But I don't see that for the next couple years or so.
Yeah.
I think you need to be like an Alex Earl or something.
Oh man, I was just thinking of her. I was literally looking at her acne photo that she just posted right before this. And I just listened to the episode about how like she literally was posting like 6 times a day. And like it really is like
You have to.
you have to be like kind of you're living your life, but like you have to just be documenting
Constantly.
everything all the time is
Constant.
just seems so exhausting.
It is. And people don't realize
people don't
that.
realize, yeah.
Like they just think, oh, you just get all this free stuff. It's
Yeah.
so easy. And it is not.
No.
And that's why I haven't, been getting as much free stuff lately.
Yeah.
Because, I stopped documenting every single aspect of my life for even just a little bit. And, things drop.
Yeah.
I'm starting to pick it back up, luckily. And I actually just got a new agent. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, I'm finally getting things where it's like, I do make like $2,500 a post.
Cool.
So like you
That's
can
amazing.
make good money. It's so much work. And you're constantly posting.
Why does the income bounce so much?
I think that's again just kind of, if it's someone like Alex Earl, who that is clearly like what she does full time, you can really dedicate time to it. But because I have another full-time job, for me, it fluctuates more than someone who it is their full-time because I can't, if I get a gig and they say, oh, we need this video in 2 days, like, okay, I don't have time to
even
do it.
probably answering your inbox messages.
Oh, yeah.
Like you probably have so many messages, even just finding the time to respond to everyone. By the time you respond, they're like, we found someone else.
Exactly.
Like
it's tough. I am very thankful that I do have this new agent and she's helping like a lot. And she gets me really good gigs.
Cool.
My last agent was not good. So that's another good thing is finding a good agent.
So is it a lot of one-time paychecks, I guess, where I'm going, where companies hire you for a post or two and then they're gone? So it's very bouncy for that reason.
Yeah.
Versus
definitely.
the consistency of saying, hey, I'm working just for this fitness brand and I'm on contract. They're paying me $20,000, $30,000 a year. And this is the agreement, for example.
Yeah. So I do have, I think, one company right now where I do consistent work for them. And I used to have another company where same thing. I think it was like $30,000 a year or something. But right now I just have the one. So yeah, it does fluctuate more because things are just kind of like one here, one there.
And then what's stopping you from going all in on this, right? I interview so many entrepreneurs and they're very similar to your situation where they got the benefits, 401k, healthcare, a solid W-2 income, and sometimes they even get bonuses at their current occupation. And then eventually they're like, wait, if I just went all in on this, I can make 4 or 5 times the amount and really have a lot more flexibility within the schedule that they operate in. So tell us, like, what's stopping you from doing that when you have the following, and maybe you wouldn't have to outsource as much to that other person to get you those type of opportunities. You could just say, I could do this myself and really control more of that environment until then you rehire because you need more people helping you at that point.
Yeah, I think it's just the fear of the, like, I have benefits right now. I have all these things. And, I always say, and this sounds somewhat like bad, but, if I get married and I have like something, stable just in case, I would do it. But right now I provide for myself. I have to be able to provide for myself. And that fear is still there. And I know that the world is very much so changing. And, if I did eventually leave my job and just fully go into social media, I probably could do it. Because that's just where the world's headed. I mean, almost everyone could be an influencer, honestly. You just have to work at it. But I'm just not quite ready yet.
Well, it's actually interesting. And I was talking to someone on my other podcast, The Shrimp Thing, today. It's like you could get the influence, but then now handling it on the back end, because then it becomes a business.
Oh, yeah.
It's like how like Danielle was saying, is like, how do you go through that inbox? And that's a skill set alone.
To know even what's legit, what's not, what's a scam. Like I even get so many DMs like, we want to offer you this. And I'm like, they're like, but you have to pay this to get that. It's not a real.
And contracts, right? So often we see 2 people could have 1 million followers. One's making $1 million a year. One's making $75,000 a year. And it's all the Wild Wild West out there. It's negotiations and it's how you structure the deals. And I believe there's a talent to that side that no one speaks about. Everyone talks about how do you build a following,
right?
But then what happens on the business side? How do you control the following?
Yeah.
Right. And there needs to be more people speaking out about that, because that's where, the business mindset comes into play and the entrepreneurship side comes into play to really make the most out of it. And apps like Owwll, of course, are going to help people.
Yeah.
Right. So that way you could just consistently just have an auto message going out, like all my first time conversations with brands are on Owwll or my audience, and you can chat with me. I'm there once a week, and create that funnel effect where then all of a sudden you're not missing opportunities. The ones who really are dying to speak to you will jump into the app and call you, versus you jumping on calls and Zooms, because it gets out of control.
Right.
If you have that larger following, I only have like 12, 13,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I get hounded all the time on my inbox, for running 2 shows. And I could just, it takes so much time. And then, a lot of times you miss opportunities.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like Danielle was saying, it's like, you have to strike when the iron's hot, because that brand moved on. They're like, that person didn't respond. I don't want to work with them. Even though you respond like 2 weeks later and it was stuck in spam or wherever it might've been. So it is difficult, to manage all that, with all the notifications going off all the time. How do you control the notifications and the incoming messages? Like what's your secret?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Then, you did make a really good point that a lot of people focus on, well, how do I get that following? How do I get there? But good point on, it becomes a business, and it's maintaining the following and what you do after that really makes the difference. But for me, as far as responding to people, I do it all myself. Yeah. I've tried outsourcing it, and I didn't like it. Not only is it a waste of my money, but I want, like, people are reaching out because they want to talk to me, not because they want to talk to somebody else. So I prefer to do it on my own. So typically, I'm on my phone a lot. I am checking my inbox constantly, and not everyone gets a response, not only because I can't, but also because, I like to kind of just pick and choose. Like, if someone's asking me a fitness question and I can tell that it's legit, then I'm going to respond to you and I'm going to answer you and I'm going to try my best to help you. But then you also get a lot of messages of, boys who I don't need to respond to.
Which is why Owwll is so great. You don't have to give out your phone number. You don't have to make them give you that money at least. And then you can tell in 2 minutes, okay, they're just hitting on me. Gotta go. Bye. And then report them on the app. Report.
See, that is nice.
So,
because like right now, the only way to do that is I just get an Instagram DM and you're like, okay, I'll help you out. And then they're like, oh, so what's your number? And you're like, oh, never mind, waste of my time.
Yeah.
We did have someone test that on Tinder. Literally, she said all my one-on-ones with any incoming people who want to date me, you can reach out to me on Owwll. And she got a lot of people to download Owwll with her referral code. She's making $10 each, and then some of them would call her, but it was in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
So it does actually work.
That's actually so great. You know what? Like, hey, you want a quick chat? Call me.
Yeah,
But it
right?
costs you $10.
You're all right. Instead of, hey, it's cheaper than a date. It's cheaper than the dinner.
Exactly.
Right?
And at least you're profiting just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think my boyfriend would kill them all, but
Tell us a little bit about your app.
yeah. So I actually didn't do any of the app making.
back end
Yeah,
kinda,
the back end of it, because I don't that is definitely above my knowledge. A company actually reached out to me to make it for me.
Okay.
Which was great because it's so difficult, I'm sure, as you guys know, to make an app, and very costly.
Yeah.
So it's very expensive. They were running some numbers by me and I'm like, oh my goodness. So they did it all, for free. They just kind of take a little small percentage of everyone that signs up. But basically my app is workouts and there's demo videos and I have programs on there. Like, here's an at-home program, here's a gym program, here's like a 4-week get yourself started. So that kind of thing. And, you can click the workout and it'll show you what to do.
Nice.
But it's just you in the app where there's not 100 other fitness pros.
So that's the weird part. So it's a playbook app, which a lot of fitness influencers use.
Okay.
But if you click the link, you wouldn't find my app in the app store. I have to send you the link.
Okay.
And then if you pull up the link, you'll only see me.
Gotcha.
But there's like a hidden tab that you could search other people.
Okay.
But that's the right route to go, because if you're going to try building your own app just for yourself, you need a few $100,000 to get going and then maintaining it. So you need such a large
when there are
audience.
bugs, like it's a whole nother career.
You just need such a large audience to pull off, being an individual, having your own app. So it makes sense.
And I think eventually maybe I will, but this was a good way to kind of test the waters. Get the content I need. And now I know that, okay, these are the amounts of people I would have if I were to launch my own app.
And so these are all like pre-recorded videos basically on the app.
Yep.
And then do you find that you get a lot of follow-up, like personal training clients? Like, do you do Zoom sessions or how does that work?
I used to do a lot of one-on-one online training. I don't do in-person training just because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But I did used to do a lot of online coaching. But ever since I had my app, I've just been sticking with that.
Nice.
I've just been sending everyone to the app, and then, you can message me through the app. So
cool.
I just kind of, message people like that, and that's pretty much how
What's
I do
the cost ranges?
$15 a month.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it's standard.
Affordable.
It's standard for everybody.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many times they message you.
Yep.
It's the same price.
Yeah. It's
And
cheap.
then, so there aren't like different tiers. It's just 15 total. You can get access to everything.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I think it's nice because, like, I wish, that would be nice to have something like that, because anytime you go to the gym, I also have sections of, upper body, lower body, whatever it is. So you can just go to the gym and be like, oh, I want to hit upper body today, and just click it and go.
And is it all fitness, or do you have like nutrition stuff as well? Because I know that like they go hand in hand. You could work out every day, but if you're going to eat McDonald's every day, it's not really going to.
No, it's
help.
80-20, 80% nutrition. No, I do actually have a page on there where it gives you, it's like a little booklet and it's a nutrition guide, and you just click through it and read it all.
Cool.
It was a lot of work setting all that
Yeah.
up.
Was that a COVID project or?
That was a little post-COVID. We were kind of coming out of it. And it was, like 4 days straight of just recording workouts and exercises and uploading it all to this app. It was so much work.
Wow.
Yeah, but worth it. So
yeah, that's amazing. I think that we're going to call some people on Owwll.
Okay.
I just found someone, he's a boxer, so I think he would probably have questions for you. Into the fitness. Sean, he's into the fitness world.
Brogan, I really give you a lot of verticals of income. You have your solid W-2 income, benefits, then the side, app, then
businesswoman
social
over
media.
here.
So you're getting, a certain amount from just, likes. Obviously they don't pay much with likes. People think TikTok's paying the bill, like not really. Right. But then you have all the brand deals that could come.
The brand deals, that's the money, not TikTok.
All right, Sean.
Oh.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm in Florida now.
Ooh.
What's up, Sean?
Well,
Jason
I
Hill,
wish-
you're on the Owwll podcast. You're live.
I decided to call you because obviously with your background in mindset, coaching, and boxing, we have Brogan with us. She is a fitness instructor. She does nutrition. She's an influencer with over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she has her own fitness app. So I thought that I would connect you guys here and see if I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but see if you have any questions that you would like to ask Brogan.
Definitely. How did you get your app started? I'm looking to get my own app started as well too.
Oh, look at that.
Good
Hey.
segue.
Woo!
Sean, we literally were just talking about that. That's
We
perfect.
were. So actually, I had a company reach out to me, kind of just offering, and it's someone that actually I could connect you with too. So at some point, somehow, I'll figure out how to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a company. It's called Playbook. They reached out to me and kind of asked me if I would want to do it, and they took a percentage rather than paying up front. But I also have friends who have used Playbook as well and have paid for them to kind of set it all up. But it's a really good way. I was actually just telling them to kind of check it out before you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars developing your own app, to just kind of really like see what it's about and what all goes into it.
Okay. I like that.
I love the percentage thing too. Like as an entrepreneur, like most entrepreneurs that are new don't just have like thousands of dollars to spend.
No.
So it's just such an efficient way
Much
to
easier.
get something started.
Mhm.
So anyway, Sean, didn't mean to cut you off there. What were you going to say?
I was asking how long you been in fitness.
Let's see. I think I started in like 2013, so a little over 10
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
You said that, well, she said you're a boxer, right?
Yeah, I am.
So tell me about that. How'd you get started into that?
When I was like in a homeless shelter, when I was homeless in Maine, I wanted a way out. So my way out was, going to boxing and playing football at the time. So, but then I fell in love with boxing more. So, my coach was definitely a great coach. He would come get me from the shelter, bring me down to the gym, and we'll put some work in and stuff like that. So I think being homeless inspired me more to go out there and do great things,
Wow, that's awesome. My gosh. So do you do that like full time now?
I am now, but I just moved back to Florida, so I'm just trying to get readjusted. I've been going for 9 years, and a lot changed in Florida since I've been going,
Yeah, probably.
Where in Florida, Sean?
Gosh.
I'm right here. Where Brandon Mall, Brandon Town Center, like right there in it's like Brandon, Tampa area.
Okay.
Oh, Tampa.
Well,
Okay. You'll have to come
So-
visit us. Not too far, a couple
definitely.
hours. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, obviously you guys can talk more at a different time about the app, and we appreciate you picking up, and hope that you come visit us soon.
and Sean, I'd love to see you post that in the new chat forum. That would be really cool. Say, hey, I'm looking to build an app, get ideas around, the fitness space, and then I'll tag Brogan, but then I'll tag some other folks that I think you should chat with, because there's a lot of app developers in there, and you're going to get a lot of horrible advice when it comes to apps and a lot of good advice, because apps are extremely expensive, and a lot of people just want to see you write the check, and then you run into trouble quickly. So, of course, you can pick my brain any day you want, through Owwll.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, Sean. Thanks for joining us on the Owwll podcast.
Thank you, man. I'm coming to see you soon, Jason.
100%. Come on down.
Yes, sir. All right.
Bye.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Brogan, that was your first Owwll call.
Woo!
Pretty darn cool, right?
Yeah.
Literally instantly call
Yeah.
someone that's on the platform, and then you could see right there she's leaving
Rate
him a
them,
5-star
comment,
review. That
Way
Sean
to go.
was awesome. He
Expert
was
talker.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the power of the platform.
That's
Literally, you
nice.
could instantly call people. But on your end, when you have a large following, you make yourself available at a moment's notice. So let's say you're driving to Miami right after today's podcast, right? What do you typically do? You're going to listen to music, listen to a podcast, listen to a book, right? Or call somebody, right? Well, no one picks up anymore though.
No.
So, unless it's a family member. So with Owwll, you can literally just go live for an hour, right? And just wait for people to call you, right? And then also, when you have a large social following, you can just post, hey, I'm available for the next hour.
Yeah.
on Owwll. Call me. My price is listed at $10 for 10 minutes, right? And build relationships on your drive to Miami. So there's
It's
no
so
other
easy.
platform really. Yes, you go live on Instagram and
Yeah.
suck people in, but they don't have the payment mechanism. And then
Right.
you're also on video,
Yeah.
right? With Owwll, there's something really unique that you're not being recorded,
That's great.
and it's a private one-on-one audio call, so you could do it while you're driving
Yeah.
and feel comfortable. So
Yeah, definitely. The no video is nice because, you know, sometimes I don't mind going live, but I'm like, ugh, you know, I just really don't look like
Yeah, I don't want to put
right
makeup
now.
on right now. I just want to
Yeah.
be comfortable in my sweats. Like it's
Exactly. Although
mean-
sometimes I do that too, but
yeah, I mean there are the filters I think really help
oh
these days.
gosh, yeah.
where
Like
I'm like, oh, I can just
on.
this will literally add like eyelashes and
Exactly.
yeah.
But the payment is where, you know, people like when you go live, they can send you gifts and you get, you know, okay, here's 30 cents, here's 10 cents,
Mhm.
but you're not making much.
That's on TikTok, right?
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
I don't think you make any money going live on Instagram.
No.
and with Owwll, what we find it's not even about the money factor. It's just that the right quality people are calling you because
Yeah.
they found enough interest in you to
Pay
spend
to do it.
$5 for 10
Exactly.
minutes, $1 for 10 minutes, and then things come from it. You
Yeah.
either end up getting invited on a podcast show, you end up getting invited to grab a cup of coffee, or you
Right.
get invited to be a speaker up on a stage. You're invited to be a TEDx speaker,
Yeah.
or they help you write, you know, a book, right? There's
Mhm.
just so many different things that we've seen come from one-on-one audio calls where it's not always like, you know, traditional, everyone just, you know, pretty much reads someone's bio and says, oh, well, I wouldn't find value in speaking with them. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, people
Mhm.
have so much going on underneath the cover, underneath the hood,
Right.
and just be open-minded. And that's what we're seeing from Al, is when
Yeah.
people are open-minded, just stuff happens.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see you get going from both sides, because most people say, well, who's going to call me? But then the other side, the flip side is like you call them, and all of a sudden you land yourself a deal with someone like Celsius Beverage, right? A bunch of
that'd be fun.
people from Celsius are on the app,
Right.
right? And all of a sudden, like, you're calling the right person.
Yeah.
From Celsius, like, oh, you're down here in South Florida, we're down here, and we're looking for brand ambassadors.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that could just, you know, be one
Or
phone
maybe
call away.
even Ben Mogul. Like
Yeah.
our last podcast guest has this really, well, not our last, but a few episodes ago, he has a really awesome CBD drink.
Mhm.
And he's also an investor. So he might love what you do and be like, oh, I want to invest in an app for you,
Mhm.
or we'll do a trade. So you just never
See,
know.
now we're talking.
Yeah, right.
Need to open my own gym at some point. So
Yeah. Hey, I'm already excited to get on your app because I've just been trying new fitness techniques and things, even things I learned. I'm doing this new ab challenge right now that
Hey.
I'm excited about. So I love all things like mental health and
Yeah,
fitness.
same.
And so I'm excited to check it out. I'm totally going to subscribe later. Hi, Paul.
Hey there.
Hi.
How are you? You know, I was watching. I thought there was a time delay on this, but this is such a great call with Brogan. Welcome.
Oh yeah, he's watching. Nice. We're not. I did not have him plugged in, but he's watching the podcast. So obviously, you know what Brogan does. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do, Coach Paul?
Well, sure. Brogan, you and I both are doing similar things in a different marketplace. Mine is focused specifically on mindset and specifically how to get unstuck. Yours is focused directly on the physical side, but related to the mindset to get unstuck. So
Mhm.
that way we both do similar things. So when we're out there on the floor, when we're in the middle of a sports arena, and we find ourselves in a situation where we just don't have it in us anymore, we just find it and we get it and we use it, don't we?
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's like, and you know, I always, especially when I'm coaching, because I'm also an aerobics instructor, and when I'm like coaching a class, I might walk into that room like, oh man, I'm so tired today. But it's like, no, you got to show up for other people, and you know, that's the beauty of like the fitness community in general. You know, people are just trying to, most of the time, just kind of uplifting each other,
Mhm.
and like you feed off energy from other people, and you know, someone might not be having a good day, but you're going to find someone who is having a good day, and they're going to help get you through it.
Well, 100%. And, you know, every career position has the same idea of being in the zone or getting in the moment
Mhm.
or harnessing your best self or however you want to describe it. Everybody has access to that 24/7. Just not everybody quite knows how. And that's where you and I come in.
Yep, exactly.
Do you have any?
This is so awesome.
Do you have any specific questions for Brogan? I know you've been
I do.
watching. Yeah.
I have been watching, and I love the chat you had a moment ago with Sean as well. The question I've got for you, Brogan, is this. The world is our oyster, but we can't help everybody. So the real question now is, who's your avatar? Who can I send your way that you most want to work with?
Oh, wow. Very, very good point. You definitely can't reach everyone. For me, I really love like your everyday kind of person. I know that sounds really weird, but I'm not looking necessarily at my target isn't the person who is trying to be an Olympic athlete. My person's not the one who's trying to walk on a bikini stage because woo, those competitions are intense.
Yeah.
I'm more trying to help the everyday person just become more confident, just become, it's a daily thing. It's something that you are living with. You're just trying to be healthier. You're not trying to, kill yourself.
Yeah. And I do find, I mean, growing up in the dance arena,
Yeah.
like there are so many unhealthy habits that
So
I've just
many.
heard from
Yeah.
friends and horror stories, especially in that industry. I was talking to a physical therapist and she was like, "Oh, I hate working with dancers because when I tell them they have an injury and they need to take a break, they're like, sorry, not possible. Like the show must go on.
No, yeah. No.
And just eating disorders out the wazoo.
Oh,
So
everywhere.
that's definitely difficult to work with those like high end
Yeah.
entertainers really at the end of the day. Cause in fitness too, the shows like it is entertainment.
Yeah.
So I love that. And you did preach that you're all about balance. So
yes, it's something you can incorporate into your daily life.
Love it.
I love that. Well done.
Thank you.
And Coach Paul, well, do you have any questions for Coach Paul? Not to put you on the spot, but
yeah, you kind of said what you do, but so what do you coach exactly? Like, do you
Well,
do
it's
speeches all
interesting.
the time or,
Well, I
conferences?
have spoken on stages to over 5,000 people at a time.
Wow.
Yes, I do that. And now that COVID is pretty much done, I'm getting calls back. In fact, it looks like I'll be in Malaysia in February. But one of the really cool things about what we both do in getting across to people is that we only work one person at a time or a small group at a time. And that's how we make our world a better place. The best metaphor I can think of is when you get on the airplane, they tell you to put your mask on first before you put on anybody else's. But that's not a selfish thing because you're not much good if you're not around to help anybody. So what I say, and Brogan, I know you believe this as well from what you've said, when we are helping ourselves to become our best selves, we then can help others around us to do the same. Our family, our friends, our communities, our world. That's how we make our world a better place. And I've made it my life work to do that for people one moment at a time.
Yes, that is so true. When I am not at my best self, I cannot help anyone else. And that's okay to sometimes go through that. Sometimes I am in a mental space where I say, you know what, I can't help you right now and I'm so sorry. And I think that it's important for people to understand that. But you want to work as much as you can to be okay, to be able to help others.
and I think that is what
100%.
like what's nice about not doing the influencing full time is like when you do need that break, you can be like, I'm just gonna go and be quiet and produce or write and just be to myself. Whereas like you don't have to be like, at least like just from my experience of doing the full-time musician thing and like, oh my God, like I didn't get a gig this weekend. Now what? And it's so stressful and it makes your passion become like not as fun anymore. And now that I have Owwll, it's like I can breathe again and just even, so I definitely can relate to that. But Coach Paul, you also do hypnotherapy, right?
I certified doctors in hypnotherapy, yes.
Right. Yeah. Which I think is pretty interesting. It sets you apart from some of the other coaches that are just, giving motivational advice. The hypnotherapy aspect is something unique. And have you given hypnotherapy sessions on the Owwll app?
As a matter of fact, I have. One of the really cool things about hypnotherapy is it puts you into a hyper focus, 100 times better focus, so that you can do things in a 10-minute cycle here on the app. And in that particular way, some people have gotten what they've been looking for very quickly. And that's what I love to do. My favorite sound. the snap of a finger. That's how long it takes to make a decision. And as I say, my life work is empowering people to do exactly that more often.
And I can hear that in your voice, your energy. I'm going to empower people. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey,
I'm
I've
like,
got
wow,
I've
you
got my
it.
downtime too. Let's make that clear. I've got
Yeah.
my downtime too. And the real key thing here, I mean, I'm going to use the metaphor of an ambassador. And Jason will tell you, I'm an ambassador here as well on the Owwll app. I just feel so proud to be part of it. But the idea behind an ambassador is that no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you got there, and no matter where you're going, you're still an ambassador. And ambassadors have downtimes too, but they're still ambassadors. So what I tell my breakthrough coaching clients is, hey, you know what? You don't have to be your best self 100% of the time. But here's the key. When you do decide that you want to be your best self, do it fully 100% at that moment. That's the key.
I also I've recently been just setting intentions, like
Yes.
before everything I do, like throughout the day, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to, set that this is going to be a successful podcast. Like when I change activities, which is just really helpful because it might not always go perfectly, but just setting that intention and mindset ahead of time to know what you want to get out of something, or just I think it really does change your mindset and your energy and your attitude. So that's helpful too.
So does Starbucks.
It does. And you've got that positive outlook as well. And that comes across naturally.
Thanks. Yeah, so does Starbucks. Exactly. I didn't do I didn't do the intention today. I forgot, but I have been teaching it to my students singing students, and it's really made like a crazy difference. So, anyway, well, thank you so much, Coach Paul, and
thank you so much, Brogan. Best to you as well. I'd love to catch up and reach out to you too. And anybody who wants to know more about me, I've trademarked my hashtag #GetUnstuckNow, so you'll find me on any social media with #GetUnstuckNow.
Cool.
Love that. Nice talking to you.
And you too. Continued success.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
He was nice.
Yeah, Coach Paul's awesome.
I know he's
got his elevator
energy.
pitch down.
Energy.
You know?
As soon as he started talking, I was like, okay, he's on it.
Yeah.
He
But
is.
then it's like contagious. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be hyped too.
Like, okay, I can go to the gym after this.
Yeah, I know. No, I've actually been dreading that all day because I didn't get to do my morning workout today because I came in and saved the day for Shrimp.
She did. She came in. She had to be the producer of our earlier show.
And I've been like, just thinking about like lifting weights all day. I'm like,
I know.
I think I'm gonna play pickleball instead because I'm just like,
hey, you know what?
it's still like having this conversation. I'm like, still a workout,
exactly.
So
it's movement. That's all you need.
How do you train people to stay in the zone? Right. So often people, build the habit, but then they fall off the habit because they go on a vacation, and then all of a sudden they eat poorly, and then it turns into them working out 4 days a week to 2 days a week to 0, or they go on a diet and it just goes back and forth, back and forth. And I think a lot of people, that's their biggest struggle. It's like they're good for 3 months and then they're bad for 6. And then they're good for 3, they're bad. And then it's just like, it's hard, right? Because food is so darn good. I just love food.
Got to tell me that.
So when you're like 80% is nutrition and 20%, is working out, it's like, it's just hard, that 80%, I got to say.
Yeah. And, when I train and when I talk to people and, everyone, that's their number one question. The most thing I get asked is, how do you stay motivated? And I am constantly telling people it's discipline. Like, you have got to change your mindset from I need to get myself motivated to I need to get myself disciplined, because that is the only way that you're going to find success, and finding a healthy lifestyle is simply reminding yourself that you're disciplined to do it.
I saw Mel Robbins say it's just about waking up. Right? The hardest thing is like when that alarm clock goes off.
Is that the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1
Mine
thing?
goes off at 6:30.
Countdown where you have to.
It's just like
5,
a lot of people have discipline.
I do that. They
have discipline in a lot of areas in their life. Yep. But there's something about like, just like when the alarm goes off.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to get up and
that is
a lot of people go to the gym in the morning. That's the best time. We all know.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, I could just skip one day. Yep. And that's the discipline we're speaking about. It's like getting the fuck out of bed.
Exactly.
Right? And in my case, like I go in a unheated pool.
Yeah.
So like today, it was cold. Yeah. It was 64 degrees. And I looked at that pool and I was like, I got to do it. And you know what's crazy? Actually, when you jump in, it's warmer in the pool than outside. Right. So then it gets, but that first jump, that first touch of the water is hard. But the hardest thing is just get out of bed.
Yeah. That's it. It's that first thing. It's It's the getting up out of bed. And, even this morning, I shut my alarm off. I was like, you know what? I couldn't sleep last night and I got no sleep. And so I was like, nope, I'm turning off the alarm.
That's where the balance happens,
Exactly.
which is
That's what I
like
was gonna
nice.
say.
You're going to burn out if you
Yep.
just every second. Like, and sometimes you procrastinate. Like last
Oh,
night
yeah,
with this
absolutely.
ab thing I'm doing, it's like every day of abs. It was like 11:55 p.m. and I was like, I still have 5 minutes before the day ends, and I got it done in those like 3 minutes.
But that's the important
like,
part.
hey,
You
who
got it done.
cares? I did it.
Exactly. And that's
So-
really it, is the balance. Like, yes, you need to stay disciplined, but you also need to be disciplined in knowing when you do maybe need a day, and that's okay too. But the discipline comes in allowing you to pick it back up.
Not everyone's David Goggins over here, right? Like out of
Just
control,
go, go,
full
go.
time, go. But like go is not natural. You see a story on social media that sounds like go. But most people, it doesn't work like that. If
No.
like I'm married, I have 2 kids. Like you can't just be go. Like
No.
shit happens. Kids are sick.
Constantly.
You got to not do a workout because you got to do something
Exactly.
different for that day, or you're on a vacation. Like in reality,
Precisely.
just things come up in business, different events, and you have to work around those and just be disciplined.
Yeah.
But I will also say accountability.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So let's talk about accountability for a second, because you can be extremely disciplined, but then if you don't have that accountability partner, like on my side, sometimes it's someone just calling you out, right? Someone be like, you look like a fat ass, or and you're like, shit, I do look like a fat ass. Right. And, it could just be like
You have us
your colleagues at work. Like I have Stephanie and Danielle that are just like, they hold me accountable
Right.
to be a better person, but also on the fitness side. And also the eating side, right? It's just like, we hold each other accountable in certain things, in business as well. But talk about accountability for a second.
So, I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the head. Is that the right phrase? Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long day.
I know. I was like, oh my God. Finding someone to be that accountability partner is going to be key to this. I mean, even if it's like, mine is my mom. She'll call me out so quick. She always has since I was a kid. Like, do you really need that second piece of cake?
I feel like fear in a way kind of is a good motivator sometimes. Like, like I don't want to be fat. Like it's just like, oh no, that would suck. Like it kind of is sometimes.
Exactly. And for me, it's not even like, oh, I feel like I don't like look great. It's like I don't feel my best, like
agree.
And some people, when I say like, oh, I just feel fat, and they're like, people are, maybe a different size than me, look at me like, oh, okay, whatever you say, skinny bitch, that kind of thing. And I'm like, it's different because to me, like I feel like that's how I feel.
Yeah, and you're comparing yourself to yourself.
Exactly.
Like
you're not comparing to anybody else.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I don't feel my best self. Sometimes I feel large. Sometimes I feel small.
Yeah.
And you know what? To the average person, I probably look exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you can't always hold yourself accountable. That is so hard to do. So you've got to find someone to help really like.
We did the 75-day heart challenge with 23 people, and it was so good to have a Facebook group that you were posting in, and you're like, wow, they're going through the same issues that we are. Like it's hard to drink, a gallon of water a day. It's hard to, eat healthy. It's hard
that was the only thing.
We were looking at like, what are they doing for their 45-minute workout? Like I'm going on a bike ride. Like she's playing pickleball.
I went for a
got
walk.
ideas from everyone. Or walking on the beach. Whatever it might have been, but like if those 23 people weren't with us, like I don't think anyone would have passed. I couldn't have done the 75 by myself.
I mean, I did it also. Like I actually created an Instagram group, and we all just kind of had this big group chat going, and some of us, of course, did fall off, but then there's some that it motivated you to be like, all right, I'm not
I don't want to be that person.
Plus, I was the one leading it. I really didn't screw that up. But honestly, my social media is actually one of my biggest accountability things in my life. Like, my mom tells me to get it together sometimes, but I feel like I'm trying to preach this balanced life. I'm trying to show people you can live a healthy lifestyle. And if I'm not doing that, then what am I even doing?
I agree. Well, think about this. I put the 75-day challenge out there as the founder of Owwll, and then I'm like, shit, I can't not pass. I have to do this.
See,
so I did everything under the sun.
Yep, you have to.
To make it through, and then 3 people out of 23 made it through.
Okay,
the stats on that thing. It's
oh
very
my gosh,
low.
yeah.
Like a lot of people made it through almost all of it.
Yeah,
but it's very difficult.
You get halfway and you're like, oh my God, shit, I still have.
I mean, most people don't get
30
the first
days.
week, and I think you run into that too. It's like they just can't keep to that first week, and then if they get through the first week, the second week gets easier, and then all of a sudden it becomes a habit 4 weeks later.
It takes 14 days to make habit.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, with that in mind, I think we have a bet coming. Danielle, talking about a habit on Owwll, right? Let's do something fun with Brogan today. What do you think?
Oh boy.
Ooh, I like it.
So, Brogan, just to kind of state the rules here, what we did the last 2 episodes, it's new. To finish every episode, we're going to place a bet,
Okay.
right?
All
And it has to do with accountability. And of
Okay.
course, it has to do with Owwll, right?
Okay.
We want to see you doing certain things on Owwll.
Okay.
If you hit it, you're going to win something, and we're going to wage something today. And if you lose, vice versa, right? So, what do you think, Danielle? What would be?
I think, as we've done in the past, that you should, if you can make 10 calls on Owwll in the next week.
Okay, next
Okay.
Wednesday is the deadline.
So next Wednesday is
Next
the deadline.
Wednesday. Okay.
So
make, not take. Make.
Yeah,
New
make.
relation, just make.
Yeah, make.
Oh, I make 10.
Yeah, you
Ooh.
call, and you have $10 on the app, so it's not going to cost you anything because you could call 10 people for $1.
Okay.
So you will win. Let's see.
What do you want to win?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Well, we'll give you some options. I mean,
Okay.
we have this studio, which I know that you have your own podcast,
Mhm.
so like you could potentially come here and do your own episode with like just using our
Graphic.
studio.
Okay, that's
Mm.
one option.
Okay.
We have merch that we could give out. I mean, you're the one who's giving the Starbucks. I don't know. It's maybe Celsius, something with Celsius. You said you like
A
energy
$25
drinks.
gift certificate.
Ooh,
to
So we give you some free
Celsius.
Celsius.
I do have a lot of
drinks.
Celsius gear. I got some hats
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah,
I got
or
some
drinks in
beverages.
general. I don't, or if there's
That's-
something that you can think of that you're like looking around here, like I see you guys.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that light.
yeah.
Our old lights, because
Yeah.
we just got brand new lights.
Yeah, our old lights.
No, I think I like your first one. I think to have a podcast here,
Ooh,
but
oh,
you
I
like
guys
this.
be
I
on
like-
my podcast.
Oh,
Ooh, I like- ooh,
cool.
You haven't had anyone say that yet.
Yeah, nobody wants.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. And it will just be, let's just do 10 calls completed.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
easier to track taken
Yeah.
versus made. So you go live, take calls. You can take 5, you can take 10, or make 10. So by
All right.
next
Mm.
Wednesday, we need to see our call count at 10. So minus the 2 we did today, of course.
Yeah.
So you're already at 2.
So then,
Then
no, that was on my phone, so that doesn't count.
Hey, I
all
wasn't
right.
gonna tell.
Oh,
him.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
I
on
was
her.
like, yeah, I am.
Oh, never mind. So it'll be a full counter. She's at 0
Yeah.
points. So this is easy.
And then, okay, what do we get?
Yeah, if I fail.
I feel like it should be something with your following, like
Post.
yeah, exactly, like a post. Yeah, that's a
Yeah. A special dance.
Oh,
ooh.
damn! I should have made you twerk on my TikTok. That
Yeah.
would have been
No,
better.
let's do that after this.
Yeah, if
but
you fail,
a second,
If
we're
you
gonna do
fail,
something.
you have to do something with Owwll and twerking.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna make these 10 calls. though.
Shake it. We said we have it.
Yeah.
Everyone watching. For the first time, most of the time we're hoping you achieve the goal. This time I'm hoping you fail.
Yeah.
I want to see the twerk video.
Yeah.
Oh,
Totally.
Boy, oh boy.
Maybe we'll have a
Owl
double or
twerk
nothing
tutorial.
There we go.
Yeah.
after. Working while doing Owwll calls, owling out.
I can do
Yeah.
it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Where can everyone find you? What are your handles?
Fitness with Brogan everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of it.
Cool.
Of course. So go ahead and follow her on the Owwll app so that way you'll get a notification.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening.
See you later, everybody. Peace. Ooh, ooh.